Hello class, here we go again with that chapter 44 project and that simple interest class that we created earlier. Same class, exactly. Got this interest method that we'd like to test. And so just to make sure everything was working properly, I just made an ordinary executable class here called investment, where I created a simple interest object and tested out what we got from its interest method. And when I ran that, I did get 1250, so that works okay. But let's do it with jUnit. So I'd like to do it with jUnit, so here we go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on the project here, and we're going to go with actually a new jUnit test case, which I'm going to call investment test, I guess is a good name for it. And we're going to use we're not going to use investment though. Not going to use the investment class. Instead, we're going to use the other class. Oh, oh, that's interesting. I chose that one. Let's start that again. I guess it's because this class is currently highlighted. Eclipse chooses it. So I'll choose the simple interest class instead and try new jUnit test case. Now it does choose the simple interest class, as you can see, and it's going to call it simple interest test. That's great. And we want to use jUnit 4, so we have to make sure we check that off. And then we'll click next, and that allows us to choose the methods that we want to test. So let's just test the interest and maybe the get principal. Okay, and we'll hit finish. Create method stubs here. I'm going to check those off. Now I have to add jUnit 4 to the build path. Yes, I do want to add it to the build path. So I'll hit OK. And that added it over here, as you can see. And I got our two methods that we're going to use. And as before, we're going to create a simple interest object here. We'll call it simple interest. We'll call it invest equals new simple interest object. Simple interest, the right case throughout. And we'll go with those numbers that we had earlier today. That was 10,000, 0.025 for 2.5% interest in 5 years. And a semicolon at the end of that. So that creates an object of the type that we want to test. So now I'll try testing the principal. So what I want here for get principal is I want to create a double for the expected. And of course I expected this should be 10,000. Now I want to create another one for the actual. And for the actual, I'm going to use the object that we created, invest, and its get principal method. There it is. And then I want to use the assert equals method. And I want to compare my expected to my actual. But as before, that's deprecated unless we add a range factor for the comparison. So I'll go with that, and I'll get rid of the fail expression. Okay, let's do the same thing for the other method here. We'll start by getting rid of the fail call here, and we'll go with double expected again, only this time our double expected should be that 1250. And we'll put the dollar decimal in just to remind us that it was a double. And then we'll get the actual by using the method. Our object is called invest, and we want to get use the interest method. And once again, we'll use assert equals, and we'll compare our expected to our actual, and we'll try again 0.00001 and our semicolon on the end. All right, let's give that a shot. Here we go. So now we want to run this, so we select up here run, and it passed the test. Notice the Package Explorer changed to a jUnit view. We've got a couple tabs up here now. We can go back to the Package Explorer. We can click on jUnit to get the jUnit view. And the green bar means that both tests were successful. You can expand this and see each individual test, that each individual test worked properly. Well, I thought I did something like that earlier, but I guess I didn't. So there you have it. It does work fine. Okay. Now it's a little bit unusual to test the getters because you can pretty much count on the fact that they're going to work for you because Eclipse writes those for you. So they should be okay. But custom methods like the interest method that we created in our simple interest class, like a custom method like this one, definitely you want to test those. Okay, I hope that helps. Sorry about the problems earlier.